Okay, y'all, now I need to go in with some extra eye cream. The patches just aren't enough. I love this one because of that titanium tip. So you can just squirt out a little product and apply it, and then flip that tip over to use the ball to reduce puffiness. It's cool. And so this just adds a little bit of extra moisture, especially to that crow's feet area. Okay, y'all, now it's time to pick out colors from the palette. This is always the hardest part. I'm thinking, what should be my accent color this time? Most of the time I make it up as I go along. What brushes? Where should I start? Okay, we're going to work the crease first. And I'll post the colors I used up above. But I took a blending brush and grabbed a matte color and started working it in like windshield wipers into the crease, or where my crease should be. Because of my hooded eyes, I actually need to elevate that crease so it appears that I actually have lids when gravity is making it so that my lids are shrinking. So I just use windshield wiper motions to accomplish that. Okay, now I'm going to take an all over eyeshadow brush and I'm going to grab my highlight color or my shimmer. And this is going to go on my lids. And I actually like to tap it into place so it just stays on my lids. When I use a shimmer, I want to be sure that it's surrounded by matte colors. So I want to be sure that stays just right on the lid area behind the lashes. It actually helps your lashes pop a little. All right, next we're going to take an eye smudger brush and pick that accent color. I went with Sweet Plum today, but I stare at them to try to decide. So grab just the tiniest bit of Sweet Plum, dust it off, and I'm literally just going to pop it. So I tap it into that very outer corner of the eye and then bring it down along that lower lash line. Just a tiny bit goes a long way. Now it's time for a little bit of cleanup. So we're going to take another clean blending brush and we're going to grab a matte color. This is obviously one of my favorites. It's called Biscotti. And I just pile that brush up and I use it kind of like cleanup. So I put it under my brow, that inner tear duct, and along my lower lashes. Just as like a cleanup, kind of sets it in. I'm thinking we need a little extra drama today, and since we chose that Sweet Plum, let's go in with that Amethyst waterproof eyeliner that's limited edition. Hopefully when you're watching this video, it's part of the regular line products, but this is just great. Deep purple color. And I'm just going to dash that along my upper lash line only, just to add a little bit more definition to my lash line and allow my lashes to look fuller. Okay, playtime's over. We've got to go in and finish this up. So I'm going to grab my moisturizer and just get that rubbed in and prep for foundation. I like to use the antioxidant moisturizer in the morning. It's just a little bit more lightweight than my nighttime cream. Then, of course, you always have to use SPF. I don't care if it's the middle of winter. This is my favorite SPF for full makeup looks. Again, it's lightweight. It absorbs super quick and easy. So it's the Time Wise Day Defender with SPF 30. Because it is winter, I'm actually going to do my winter makeup hack. I don't know who I learned this from. I cannot take credit. But we take our Time Wise Luminous 3D foundation and our nourishing oil. We actually mix them together. So you can use the blending brush. I was kind of trying to decide which one to use. They're both good, but the blending brush I like to start with. And I put the foundation on the back of my hand and then just add a couple of drops, I think 2, sometimes 3, just depending, of nourishing oil right onto the top of the pile of foundation. Do a quick mix on the back of my hand and then just go into blending. A little bit goes a really long way. Don't forget your hairline. I have a little bit of redness to my skin, and so I really do have to be sure to blend that into my hairline. And I like to work from the top down, but there's really no wrong way to get this done. And you're going to see that the amount of foundation on the back of the hand is really all I needed to cover the entire face. And you know you have the right match when you look on the back of your hand and you don't notice a difference. Okay, right here, I see just a little bit of extra redness on my broken capillaries this morning. So I'm going to take that same brush and I'm just going to take a little bit more of that foundation that hasn't had any oil added to it. And I'm just going to pat that in unblended to my cheek area just to add a little bit of extra coverage to the areas I want to camouflage just a little bit more. And I'm actually going to let that sit while I work on my brows a little bit. Brow trends are always changing. So what is in right now is actually more of a natural brow look. So I'm not even going to use a pencil this time. I'm just going to use the brow tint, and I start real slow, just adding a little bit of pigment at a time, just kind of building that up so that they don't look painted. And I also like to save the innermost corner for the very end. So you kind of get that ombre look going from lighter to darker with the pigment. So this just takes a little time, not too much, just a little bit, just to get the look you're going for. Okay, go in. I'm going to blend. I grabbed that other foundation brush. You can see it's a liquid foundation brush. And this time I'm just going to stipple it in because I want most of that product to remain on those broken capillaries. Now you could do this with concealer, but our foundation is so good. I just use foundation. We're going to set that correction with a little bit of silky setting powder. Just a tiny bit. And just right there in that area. And my T-zone, my forehead. Okay, it's time for cheek color. Cheek color. I decided to go with the safe choice, Darling Pink. I'd spent so much time getting the redness out of my cheeks. I actually don't like to add a lot more back in, but we're putting it in the right place, of course. All right, that's a wrap with that compact. I just love it. I don't know who put my name on it, but it was such a thoughtful gift. And then I'm going to finish today with Berry Couture Lip Stick in our Semi Shine formula. I love this color. Thanks to a client, I purchased it for myself. I would have never thought that that dark color would look so good on me. It almost looks like a black when I opened it for the first time. So never judge a lipstick until you put it on. Well, that's a wrap, y'all.